Hi, this is Nick from Nautical Training, another one of our how-to videos today on engine checks. So we're on board Cornerstone, which is our narrowboat, that we offer narrowboat training and helmsman training and even custom training out of Mercia Marina in Derby. So, engine checks then. This is for an inboard diesel engine. So whether you've got a cruiser, a narrowboat or a rib with an inboard diesel engine, these are the checks that you should do before you start the engine for each trip. And these checks are valid whether you've got a single engine or twin engines. All I'd say is, if you've got twin engines, do the same check on both engines at the same time. So check water on both, check oil on both. Don't do one whole engine then the other. I just find it works easier that way. So this is our Isuzu Marine engine. And there's an acronym we can use to remember these checks. And that's WOBLED. Water, oil, belts, bilges, levels and exhaust. First one we do is check the water. Now this engine has a header tank, so just like a car, it has a header tank that you put water in. We need to make sure that has water in it to work. So this is our header tank here. So I'm just going to push down on this cap and turn it, and then it will come off. There we go. And what I'm going to do is take my longest finger, dip it in there, make sure I can feel some water, which I can. You can also see some water in there as well. And that's enough, that's all we need. So next one is oil. Now that's the engine oil. So you can see our nice shiny dipstick over here. So again, all I'm going to do is pull that out and just make sure it's got oil between the minimum and the maximum marks. And you can see it does. Just like the car engine on your car. Next one is B for belts. Water, oil, belts. So you can see our drive belt just here. All I'm going to check on our drive belt is that it doesn't turn too much. So I'm checking it's nice and tight, and all I want is about a quarter of a turn there. I don't want it to be able to turn much more. If it turns much more, it will be too loose. This boat actually has two drive belts because it has two alternators. One that side for the leisure battery and one this side for the engine start battery. So I'm just going to check the second one as well. That one's also fine. Then the next check I'm doing is the other B, which is bilges. So I'm checking our bilge area here. There's a little bit of water in the bilges each side, not too much. So in a minute, I won't do it on the video, I'll just get a wet vax or turn my bilge pump on and pump that out. The central section of bilge you can see just down here, that's nice and dry. I wouldn't use my bilge pump to pump that out because that may contain oil. Obviously we don't want to put oil into the water of the rivers, canals or sea. So that one I'd definitely use a wet vax or a sponge or something. Levels then. Now levels could be anything you like. It could be levels of water in your water tank. It could be levels of food that you've got on board, milk, biscuits, all that sort of stuff. And then the final one is E for exhaust. So what we're going to do then is we're going to start our engine up and we're going to ensure that we get water out of the exhaust if it's a water-cooled engine. This engine actually isn't. This engine is a keel-cooled engine. So what that means is the water from the header tank is pumped around underneath the boat into the canal water that cools it down. So it doesn't actually suck any water in from the canal at all. But most inboard engine boats will be water-cooled, where they'll suck the water in, pump it around the engine and spit it back out again. And that's what the E is for. You're just leaning over the edge, making sure that your exhaust has power. And now we can start our engine. Cool. Thank you for watching. See you soon.